Welcome everyone. I hope you're all having a blessed and Merry Christmas. But as we gather with our families, we recognize that this year we've been given a different kind of a gift, a sobering reminder of what it truly costs to stand for the truth. We're here because we care more than just a man. We care about the precious value of life and the fundamental right to speak. Charlie Kirk stood for those principles, and many believe he was taken from us in a public, brutal act designed to do one thing: silence you. It was a message sent to every person who dares to ask questions, a warning that our freedom of speech is under direct assault. But they underestimated us. We will not be silenced. We will not be scared into submission by those same tactics we've seen used time and time again, from 9/11 to mandates of COVID to orchestrated tragedies that define our era. This isn't a battle of left versus right. It's not about race, religion, or gender. This is a war of good versus evil. It's us against them. As we move forward, we remember the words of Ephesians 6:12. For we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against powers, and against the rulers of darkness of this world, against spiritual wickedness in high places. Before we go further, I cannot stress this enough. Please subscribe to the channel, hit the like button, and share this video to YouTube, which will push it out. And please go subscribe to other truth seekers doing the heavy lifting right now. Follow Baron Coleman, Trigger Smart, Kelly Raven, Ryan Matta, Candace Owens, and Ian Carroll, and there are far too many patriots to name, but they are the front line of this investigation. We're crowdsourcing the truth because we have been duped by the very officials elected to protect us. The corruption isn't just present, it's blatant. It is as if they stopped trying to hide it because they think we're either too stupid or not paying attention. They're wrong. We're looking at every angle, every player, and every orchestrated detail. Tonight we pull back the curtain on that darkness. Let's get into it. For those following the timeline of this case, we are diving deep into the exploding mic evidence. If you're just now tuning in, let me bring you up to speed on where the trail leads. Just 48 hours ago, Baron Coleman released a bombshell video regarding a figure, maybe Butch Hibbs, if that is even his real identity. Baron's breakdown of the Hibbs connection is essential to understanding the bigger picture of how this was carried out. I'm going to cut directly to the most critical part of his report now. Take a look at this.
The question remains, who was on that flight from Joint Base Andrews to Colorado Springs? I still think it's relevant. And I still don't know who it was. I just know it wasn't the vice president. It may turn out that the flight's not relevant at all, but that doesn't stop me from asking the question. A large part of investigating is recognizing patterns and deviations from patterns. It's why some people are good at it and others, sadly, are not. And it's this pattern recognition that leads me to my first story tonight. On yesterday's show, I had some fun at the end with some images of Butch Hibbs from before and after Charlie Kirk was taken from this life. Butch Hibbs, if you will recall, is the brother of Pastor Jack Hibbs. He is an influential pastor in the Calvary Chapel denomination. Butch looked different. I mean, his beard looked different, his hair looked different. Even the curve of his hat was substantially different from before and after the event. And so we asked, partly in jest, but really because we wanted to know, is this even the same Butch Hibbs? And that led to something I was not expecting. An astute emailer, and I don't know if this emailer wants to be known or not, so I will not reveal the name, emailed in and asked what I thought was in his right breast pocket, Butch Hibbs' right breast pocket, before the event. I hadn't noticed anything, so I went back and looked at the images from Charles McClintock Wilson, and sure enough, you can see something in his front right pocket. But I couldn't tell what it was. I didn't have a nice clean angle. It looked kind of like a rectangle or a square, maybe with rounded edges. So I went and found the full frontal picture from Facebook. I'll show you all these in a minute. And I could see the object pretty clearly. It was a mostly square-looking object with rounded corners. I had no reference for how large or small it was. I could just see that it was there. So I went to a video from after the event, the Life is Driving video, Adam Bartholomew's video. It's been a great reference. Even though Adam came on the program and we disagreed. It's been a good reference, and I appreciate him leaving it up so we can use it. And lo and behold, the object in Adam Bartholomew's video is not in Butch Hibbs' front right pocket, at least not as far as I can tell. That's why yesterday, if you noticed, we couldn't even determine if he had a pocket at all on that side because it wasn't three-dimensional. It was three-dimensional ahead of time because it had that object in it. Afterwards, it would lay flat across his chest and you couldn't even see it. So I looked up what kind of shirt it was. It turns out it's a Wrangler fishing shirt. I'm pretty sure it's a Wrangler fishing shirt. And I found one online. I thought about ordering it, but ultimately, why do I need a Wrangler fishing shirt? Dimensions here. Maybe you aren't going to be as easily as amazed as I am, but I'm pretty weirded out by this whole thing. I'm going to be honest with you. This is pretty wild. All right, let me pull up image number 1 here. We'll get to this image number 1. Here we go. This is image number 1 that I looked at. This is a Charles McClintock Wilson image. You can see this is what I'm talking about right here. This image right here. That right there. Let me get on there. Where is it? Oh, there. Ooh. Sorry, I'm making you guys dizzy. I should clip these out. This right here, this is the one side. It goes right here. It's just short of this real fine white line. And then it goes over to this other line. So it's just short of 2 inches wide. It goes from just above this dark line to right almost exactly at that white line there. So it's just about 2 inches tall. You guys can't see it. Oh, great. All right, here's what I'm going to have to do. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to take this. These are the dimensions of the Rode microphone. It is 46.4 meters high. This is the receiver, meaning this is the piece that's underneath your shirt. 46.4 millimeters high, 44 millimeters wide. So you can tell that is almost a square. Not quite a square, but almost a square. If you convert 46 to inches, it's 1.8 inches tall and just short of 1.8 inches wide. So that is the dimension. And if you look here at an image, you can see how the corners are kind of rounded. You see that? Those corners are kind of rounded. So it's almost exactly square with rounded edges. It sticks off about 18 millimeters or so. So a little under half an inch, maybe half an inch, maybe 3/4 of an inch. I don't know what that is, what that comes out to. Here, let me do a little math. 18 mm to inches. It's going to be 0.7, right? So 0.7 inches off the shirt or off the chest, almost 2 inches wide, almost 2 inches high. So let's go back and look now that you've gotten the dimensions. Let's go back and look at it. And I'll tell you why this is important in a second. Go back and look at the Butch Hibbs image here and tell me this doesn't look identical. Now, hold on. That's not what I wanted. I wanted this one. This one right here. Tell me that doesn't look the same. And I know it looks the same because it is the same.
And for all you naysayers out there, y'all can either go to another channel or whatever. It looks exactly like it. But we're going to cover the more on the microphone and accurate energetic systems on another video. This one is specifically about Butch Hibbs and his role that he played in bringing the microphone to Utah from Tennessee.
I saw that comment. I don't need it. I don't need it. So I had to ask, how would, okay, my mind was blown at this point. I spent all day thinking about, how on earth would Butch Hibbs even come into contact with it? Would he even have been near where Charlie Kirk was mic'd up? Because if you remember, all of the images of Charlie Kirk getting mic'd up were on the left-hand side of the tent, and Butch Hibbs, all the images of him standing there on the right-hand side of the tent. And so, when would the exchange have been made? And so I dig, and I find this image from just before Charlie Kirk comes out. And I know Charlie Kirk is here because Butch Hibbs is photographed with him. This is Butch Hibbs without his hat, standing right there. Right next to Brian Harpole, right next to Terrell Farnsworth, and right next to the guy who mic'd him up, Philip Goldsberry Jr. Now you'll notice after this, when Charlie Kirk's talking, Butch Hibbs goes to this side over here. He's standing right over here on this side behind the tent, but beforehand, he's over here next to all the sound guys, next to the microphone people. So at least we put him now on that side of the tent. Yeah, he threw his earbuds out in the middle of the show. He got tired of the earbuds. Come on, guys, stop trolling. This is what happens when you kind of get over the target. So, again, no one can say definitively, conclusively, that Butch Hibbs absolutely 100% showed up with a sabotaged microphone. But I want to walk through a few things here. I want to walk through something. One thing I want to walk through is a video Blake Bednar's put up, and I'm going to play his version because he slows down Frank Turek's voice at a certain point, and it sounds like Frank Turek is a demon, and I kind of love it. Sorry, that's where we are now. But he explains how Butch Hibbs even got here, how Butch Hibbs even arrived in this entourage. And I want to show you this because it's going to provide background for the next set of facts I'm going to show you, and those blew my mind. I sat here, I pushed back from the table, I put my hands on my head, and I thought, oh no, you are out of your mind. You are kidding me. So let me play this first, and then I'll get to the you're out of your mind fact.
There's a whole bunch of TV USA leaders there that want to pose for pictures. Charlie graciously poses for pictures. He posed for a picture with me, and we'll show this picture here. This is me, Charlie, and in the middle is Butch Hibbs. That's the brother of Jack Hibbs, Pastor Jack Hibbs.
And he came to the event, wanted to meet us both, so we took a picture.
I'm sorry, that's hilarious how he slowed him down there, presumably for emphasis, but he sounds like Lucifer himself. He wanted to meet us both, so we took a picture. So I was sitting here to my wife. We were doing this live today. She was in here. I was getting ready for the show. Wasn't sure if I was even going to do a show yet. And I said, based on what I talked about yesterday with the accurate energetic systems, I bet if that payload was an explosive and Butch ended up with it, I bet Butch was there to receive it. And she was like, what do you mean? I was like, think about it. I bet you in Nashville, I know Butch lives in Heber City. I know that from his Facebook post. I said, wouldn't it be weird if there was a plane into Nashville from Heber City on the day the accurate energetic systems contract was delivered? So let's review that real fast, just for those of you who don't know what we're talking about. This is wild, guys. This is freaking wild what I'm about to show you. So this is the list of awards to accurate energetic systems. This is a high explosive manufacturer in McEwen, Tennessee. It's outside of Nashville, an hour, give or take, west of Nashville. These are a list of their contracts. You can come over here and see the amounts. Some of them they get pretty small as far as defense contracts go, but some of them are pretty healthy. You see a brief description here, different types of charges, different types of kits, yada, yada, yada. The one we're looking at is this $400 and something thousand short-term contract. It's this one right here. So I will pull that up and show you the details of this, because I think this is pretty fun, pretty fancy. As you know, Brian Harpole told us via the Sean Ryan Show that he started planning in earnest the Charlie Kirk event on August 24th. That was a Sunday. I suggested perhaps he meant August 25th, because who starts working on Sunday? Demons, I guess. No, I'm just kidding. So he starts talking. He's saying, well, we started in earnest on August 25th. That Sam 000 flight, for example, was August 25th. And so I told my wife, I said, I wonder if Butch came to Nashville, like if he ended up with a microwave, did he come to Nashville and pick up the payload? Like, where would we even begin to find that? So I was like, well, let me look up all the flights that came into Nashville that day. Actually, I started the day before. Maybe it was done on August 24th. So I go to Flight Radar. I look up all the flights on August 24th. I see nothing. I look up all the flights on August 25th, and I'm looking at a little private airport, not B&A, not the big airport, but John Toon. This is where the rich people fly out of. Let me see here. I don't want to run away here. All right. So this is John Toon Airport, right here. I go to the earlier flights. Oh, hush. Hold on. I've messed it up. There we go. I go to flight history. I go back to August 25, because this is how I did it. And I think, it's just, you got to start an investigation somewhere. Let me just see if there's a Heber City, Utah flight into Nashville, because that sounds pretty rare. Check that out. Do you see that? Oh, I've lost it again. You can't blow it up because of the program. Oh, great. Trust me, it was there. I'll redo it here. Oh, gosh, I made it entirely too large. There we go. This is August 25th. This is a Heber City flight landing. Right there. It's Heber City. It's a private jet. It's got the call sign and all that. I looked up the ownership of the flight. It's out of it's a private company out of Wilmington, Delaware. But that's it. It's a Heber City flight into Nashville, Tennessee. I'm going to stop trying to blow it up. I didn't realize this was so finicky.
Did you catch that? The flight out of Wilmington, Delaware. That's where Candace Owens' flights are, the Egyptian flights are going to.
This is the day it has to be delivered. Now, you would think that's weird enough. So I said, okay, let me see if I can find his flight back. So I go to all the departures. I'm going to pull this down because I don't need to show you. It's hard to prove a negative. I start losing faith in my theory because I can't find a flight back to Heber City. I'm like, the guy flew in. In my working theory here, you pick up the package, you jump back on a flight, and you go right back home. Man, I looked through all the flights that day. I looked through all the flights the next day, the next day, the next day. I go to B&A, the big airport. Maybe he drove across town and flew out on a commercial jet. Because I find anything, and then it dawns on me. You know why I can't find a flight back to Heber City out of Nashville that day, or the next day, or the next day? A, because Heber City gets almost no traffic. Tiny little dinky airport. But if I'm right, and he's picking up a payload, an explosive payload, it is illegal at that point, and it's very dangerous to get on a flight with it. You've got pressure situations, you've got all kinds of electric things. It is illegal. There are federal laws that say you can't get on a commercial jet with an explosive, and you can't get on a private jet with an explosive.
Okay, so we got the flight from Heber City into Tennessee to maybe pick up the payload. Now I'm going to take you to another video of Baron's that he did about 9 days ago. On Dr. Lee Trotter.
But I know where I'm going from here. I have a very convincing argument in my mind that Charlie Kirk was taken down by a very sophisticated plot. A very sophisticated plot. One of the key components of that plot was the general surgeon who they took Charlie Kirk to, and I want to introduce you to Dr. Lee DuPont.
Not only will we buy...
His name is Lee DuPont Carter. You cannot make this stuff up if you had to. His middle name is DuPont. Now, do I think he's, got a vacation home in Rehoboth Beach and hanging out with the big DuPont family in Wilmington at happy hour? No. I don't think that at all. But I very much think, that this guy needs to be evaluated, because the more I research this guy, the more questions I have. So let me roll just a couple of minutes. This is a long video. We're not watching 58 minutes, 39 seconds. We're probably not even going to watch 2 full minutes. But I do want to show you the intro here, because you have to understand my thought process on this guy and why I have concerns about him as the doctor. And it starts with this video. We don't have volume. Oh, please.
Dr. Lee Trotter. Friend of mine, we have lunch together sometimes at the hospital and talk a lot, and today we happen to be wearing matching scrubs. That's funny. Dr. Trotter is a board-certified general surgeon, specializing also in pediatric surgery and bariatric surgery. Graduated from Western University Health Sciences with a residency internship at Kessler U.S. Air Force Base Medical Center. Where's that at?
That's located in Biloxi, Mississippi.
Let's go.
It's the largest Air Force base.
Uh-huh.
So what he's saying here is he's an Air Force trained doctor. Now, my stepfather was an Air Force trained doctor. He was a good man. He was not out there, causing all kinds of problems. That being in the Air Force doesn't mean you're an evil person. I'm just pointing out that this is something that drew my attention. But let me keep going here because it's the next minute or so of the conversation that really drew my attention.
Country. Okay. So it's a large teaching base hospital.
Is that what inspired your passion for flying and for airplanes?
No, that predated. In fact, I know it's a little bit off topic, but I couldn't decide if I wanted to be a doctor or a pilot. So ultimately, I just did both. so anyway, I'd like to say the physician side of me allowed me to finance my other passion. That's all I do now. I'm a doctor and fly.
Yeah.
That's it.
Do you use your airplane to fly to different locations?
I do. I do a lot of consulting, and
Yeah.
so I do go from here to there. If I can stay out of the airports, the commercial big airports and TSA, I'm a lot happier.
All right, so this is key to me, and I'm going to show you why in just a moment. This is very key to me, and I'm going to show you why. A couple of things to know about Dr. Trotter real quickly, and I think that's all we're going to show in this video. There's one more thing I'd like to show this video, actually, but I'm going to drop it for right now. This guy is a pilot/doctor. He said, I couldn't decide if I wanted to be a pilot or doctor, so I do both. I fly my plane everywhere. I don't want to go to the commercial lines. I stay out at the commercial airports. Okay. Duly noted. I happened to look up his plane. He owns an airplane. I don't want to show you that part because it's got his home address on it. Here is his airplane. So let me pull this up. He's got a nice little airplane. It's a little Mooney airplane. Let me make this a little bigger for you guys so you can see what's going on here. This data goes back a year. I got the 1 year subscription. I'm not rich like you. I'm just kidding about that. But I can't drop the big money on the big 3 year subscription. I got the 1 year subscription. But there is a flight in his personal aircraft every single month going back to December 24th, except for one. Does anyone want to guess what month he was not in the air? Every single month. So we have flights in December. We have flights in January. I'll just go like this. You can see a little easier. We've got flights in December of 24. We've got flights in January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August. You guys want to guess what happens at the end of August? He doesn't fly anywhere in September. He flies nowhere in September. In fact, he flies from, he has an office in Lewiston. We'll look at that in a second. Lewiston, Idaho, I think. So he flies from Gooding to Lewiston to somewhere. Transponder goes dark, but then he ends up in Idaho Falls. So I'm assuming he went Lewiston to Idaho Falls. He leaves Idaho Falls, goes to Rexburg back to Idaho Falls to his office location in Lewiston, and then he disappears. What else do you notice by this, though? Where is he never? Here he's there once in June. Here he's there once in May. Another time in May. There a few times in May, but you come up here to, now he's not back in Provo again until October 28th. Where was he in September? He had not been in Provo since August 17th, and he's not back in Provo until August 28th. How is he working at the hospital? He said he doesn't like to take commercial flights. That's possible he did take a commercial flight. But no September flights? Let me, just so you know that this is unusual, we did every month of August, we missed September, then we have October, we have November, and we have December. But we have no flights in September. No flights in September. So, let's go back to the audio. There might be another explanation. Perhaps there's another explanation. Let's go back to the video for just a second. He does make one more comment. This is how I was able to find not only his first plane, but his second plane.
That's funny. What got you into the flying piece?
You know what? I flew airplanes as far as I can back remember. Little toy ones. I'd fly around in the space and 100% perfect landings, on my desk and stuff. And then it turned into radio control planes, and then ultimately sitting in a real plane. It's a lot of fun.
That's really
so
cool.
much fun.
You use small prop, big prop.
Well, I've owned a variety of planes, and each plane has a different mission. But when my family was large, I had 5 children and my wife. So that's 7 of us. I needed a big twin to fit everybody, and then I kind of downsized when kids moved out. So I currently have a plane called a Mooney. It's a single engine, 4-passenger, but it's a pretty quick little airplane to get me from location
So he has the Mooney. That's the plane we were just looking at. Now listen to this. There's one more.
to location, and then I've got a bush plane. It's a highway with great big cartoon-looking tires on it that allows them to land in the middle of a field or up in the mountains, typically.
So I hear that. I see that he has no flights in September on the Mooney. I was able to easily find the Mooney. So I thought, well, let's go looking for the Bush plane. I looked up on the FAA. I will show you this because I won't have to show you his address to show you this much. That plane, the plane we were just looking at, it was registered, you'll notice down here, to Lee D. Trotter D.O. That's his corporation, professional corporation. Lee D. Trotter D.O. That's his professional corporation. So I figured if he owns two planes, surely both planes are owned by the same company. So I keep looking. I cannot find another plane. I scour the FAA website. I cannot find another plane to Trotter. So I heard he had a Bush plane, so I looked up what is a Bush plane, what is a Cub. I landed on the fact that it's probably this thing called a PA-18. So I go to Google, and I look up PA-18 Lee Trotter. This is desperation mode here. You'll see my Google search up here, PA-18 Lee Trotter. Lo and behold, I find this image. You click on it, and you can take private airplane tour with Lee Trotter. And I'm thinking, maybe it's the same Lee Trotter. Here's the problem. You can't see that tail number. Oh, wait a minute. You guys didn't change windows with me when I clicked. So let me go over here. This was the website I was just talking about. Those are the cartoonishly large. So it's this, you get to bid on an opportunity to go fly with a guy named Lee Trotter. I figured, maybe it's him. So I look up, but you can't see the tail number. The picture's too small. See this right here? You can't see the tail number. So I send this picture to a professional friend of mine, photographer, who enhances the tail, and we make some educated guesses on like maybe 10 different numbers it could be. I look up all 10 tail numbers, and sure enough, I find a hit. I find a hit right here on, where is it here? It's N415T. N415T, I closed that one out, but let me open it up. Now this is interesting to me, because you remember the other one was registered to Dr. Lee Trotter or whatever, right? Not this one. Not this one. This one's registered to some random organization.
Okay, have you?
DBA. And if you scroll down here, it has other owner names, Stephanie Trotter. I'm assuming that's his wife. I thought that's weird. Why would you have, you got your one plane, your main plane is in your own name, your own professional corporation name. It's, well, I wonder if we can track it. So I go to start tracking in 14.5, and look what we find. I come up against a dead end. This plane, there's no location history. Well, is it there's no location history because they don't fly it anywhere? Or is there no location history because they've blocked your ability to track it? I click on another website, and sure enough, it's not available for public tracking per request from the owner-operator. Now, this is a little unusual for a small outfit like this. It's a very small airplane. It's a two-seater. It might be a four-seater, but it looked like a two-seater on that picture. Why are you blocking the tracking? I mean, not a lot of people block tracking. It's not a very common thing. He says he owns it so he can get high up on the mountains and go camping, but I wonder if that plane was flown at all during September or August. Was there anybody who flew into that area? So we have an idea of where he's based out of, right? He's based out of Utah. And here's some of the other places he's licensed. Let me show you this here. This is Lee Trotter's license. He's based out of Utah. That's his license there. It's good through 2026. But he's also licensed in Idaho, and he has a clinic up there in Lewiston, Idaho, or some sort of surgical site in Lewiston, Idaho. And he has an active license through the end of the year in South Dakota, but it doesn't look like he's planning to renew that. I don't know. Maybe he is. Then he's got all these expired licenses, which weirds me out a little bit. I'm always a little weirded out when doctors let their licenses expire in other states. But it happens. It's not completely unheard of. But you notice he moves around a lot. He moves around a lot. Wyoming, way out on the East Coast in Virginia, Nevada, Wisconsin. He was in Wisconsin at some point a little while. Now Utah, he was in South Dakota for a while, obviously a long while. I think he's from South Dakota, or maybe his parents lived there. But you'll notice, if you looked at a map and you looked at Idaho and Utah and South Dakota, Nevada, Wyoming, they're all circled right there around the Rocky Mountain areas. I'm not saying this is what happened, but there was a flight into Colorado that drew my attention. In August, late August, and there was another flight in mid-September into Colorado that drew my attention. And if you had a plane that wasn't able to be tracked, we wouldn't be able to tell whether his plane simultaneously was there.
Okay. Now, we found a flight for this Making Waves benefit, this plane right here, in September. If we go back to this website where Baron got this picture off of right here, you see there's that picture of that right there. That's the plane. We go right here to overview, and let's see, Making Waves. Oh, what is this? Making Waves benefit, September 6th. Where's it at? Heber City, Utah. Right there. Let me blow that up so y'all can see that. Heber City. Isn't that where Butch Hibbs is supposed to be from? Heber City. Right there, so, that's kind of strange. Let's see. Come soak up the sun and make a splash with IMURS at our Waves Making event. Family-friendly event is all about sharing a passion for scuba therapy and supporting those with mental health challenges, cognitive and physical disabilities. Bring a swimming suit and try to scuba. Some activities do have a cost, so bring lots of money. Does that sound familiar? Yeah. So September 6th, 2025, he had his bush plane in Heber City. And he could have landed that right at Accurate Energetic Systems on the 25th, picked up the package, and Bush Hibbs or whoever flew to Super Heber City. So I'm pretty sure he knows Bush Hibbs if he's in the Heber City area doing these type of things. So then that makes a connection between Bush Hibbs and Charlie Kirk's surgeon, major surgeon, which would be able to corroborate their story, pre-planned everything. Bush Hibbs leads the Bush Hibbs for a way to get back from the Heber City flight from Tennessee. And I just found that real surprising. There's your connection, Baron. Right there. And he saw where Baron... This brings us back to Baron's ghost flight question. We know there was a flight from Hibbs area to Tennessee on August 25th to pick up tactical supplies, but no recorded return. If Dr. Trotter was already in the area for this Making Waves event with his private bush plane, did he provide the off-radar transport back from Tennessee? Is this the moment the tactical meets the medical? We're investigating this ourselves because it's clear we've been duped by our own elected officials. The corruption isn't just hidden in the shadows anymore. It's blatant. It's as if they aren't even trying to hide it, the agenda. They think we'll just accept the narrative, but they forgot one thing. We have the receipts. Very real possibility of Butch Hibbs being a key player in what happened to Charlie, and these issues we bring to the surface need to be investigated. As we close out this Christmas, let's remember the gift of truth. Thank you to the researchers and patriots on the front lines for staying in the good fight. Please like, share, and subscribe to the channel to help us continue this investigation. I wish you all a very Merry Christmas and a new year of accountability. Let's make 2026 a year of change for Charlie, for America, and for all of humanity. Happy New Year and God bless.